Harper Audio presents Justice Denied by J.A. Jance. Performed by J.R. Horne. Copyright 2007 by J.A. Jance. Production and abridgment copyright 2007 by HarperCollins Publishers. I was standing in my own bedroom minding my own business and knotting my tie when Mel Soames hopped into the doorway from her room down the hall. She was wearing nothing but a bra and a pair of panties, and she was doing a strange ostrich-like dance as she attempted to put one foot into a pair of pantyhose. "So, what are you going to do about a tux?" she asked. "Buy or rent?" Some questions posed by half-naked women are more easily answered than others. This one had me stumped. What tux? I wondered. Since I quit drinking, I find I'm in fairly good shape when it comes to remembering things. For example, we had spent most of the weekend on the road, driving down to Ashland, Oregon to see my month-old grandson, Kyle. I clearly remembered having to explain to my precocious 4-year-old granddaughter, Kayla, that Mel was not her grandmother, and I particularly remembered how much of a kick my daughter and son-in-law, Kelly and Jeremy, had gotten out of my trying to dig my way out of that hole. And I also remembered the 8-hour drive back to Seattle on Sunday afternoon, especially the part where I had managed to keep my mouth shut when Mel was pulled over by an Oregon State Trooper for doing 77 miles per hour in a posted 65. But the motorcycle cop was a young guy. Mel gave him the full-press blonde treatment, complete with a winning if apologetic smile, and managed to talk her way out of the ticket. But then, that's Mel for you. However, nothing in all those bits of memory even hinted at my needing a tux. "Buy," I said. It was a desperate gamble, but I came up winners. Mel shot me a radiant smile. "Good answer," she said. "We should probably plan on doing that at lunchtime, or maybe right after work. That way, if there's tailoring that needs to be done." Snapping her pantyhose in place, she disappeared back down the hall to finish dressing. I finished knotting my tie and then went out into the kitchen to drink coffee and contemplate my fate. Tux or not, Mel Soames brought something to the table that wasn't half bad. We had met working for the Washington State Attorney General's Special Homicide Investigation Team, the SHIT Squad, as it's derisively known in local cop shop circles. I had gone there after bailing out of homicide at Seattle PD. My former partner, Sue Danielson, had died in a shootout, and I had wanted to find a way to keep my hand in law enforcement without having to deal with the emotional stress of a partner. Ross Allen Connors, the AG, had offered me just such a position. Mel, it turned out, had come to Washington State and to SHIT for a similar reason. Only the partnership problem she was leaving behind was a bad marriage and a worse divorce. It goes without saying that we're both well beyond the age of consent and old enough to know that working together and living together is a very bad idea. SHIT is a new enough agency that nobody has ever quite gotten around to setting down in writing all the rules and procedures about what should or shouldn't be done. If they had, I'm sure cohabitation between fellow investigators would be close to the top of the prohibited list. But there's no fool like an old fool, or maybe even a pair of them. And so even though it's probably a bad idea, we do it anyway. Sometimes we stay at Mel's place in Bellevue, but mostly we stay at my high-rise condo in Seattle's Denny Regrade neighborhood. We carpool together in the express lanes across Lake Washington and then pick up or drop off the other vehicle in the park-and-ride lot on the east side of the lake. New acquaintances are often curious about how a retired homicide cop happens to sit in the penthouse suite of one of Seattle's most desirable high-rises. The truth is, I wouldn't be in Belltown Terrace at all if it weren't for Ann Corley, my second wife, whose shocking death left me holding an unexpected fortune. My Mercedes S55 may have come to me used, but it's several years newer than Mel's BMW, so her 740 tends to be relegated to second-class status.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?